Scot McCloughan, who was the general manager both of the 49ers and in Washington, had an interesting quote over the weekend to Mike Reese of ESPN. When you start throwing that money around, if it's a quarterback, I get it. If it's a pass rusher, I get it. Guys that are impacting games all the time. With a receiver, they're important, don't get me wrong, but a good defensive coordinator can take them out of the game plan. So now you're lucky if he touches the ball 6 to 8 times a game. It's just who's going to impact the game the most. Here's why I disagree with McCloughan. And
Go
look,
ahead. I think,
I disagree with him. I mean, when you have that great receiver, he impacts the game every single snap. Because every play, you got to be aware of where he is. And if you're devoting extra resources to keep him from killing you, you're making it easier for the rest of your offense to operate.
I would agree with you what you're saying there. I think Scot McCloughan has a lot of great thoughts. I always like kind of what he says. He gives you great perspective. But that'd be one there where I'd go 2022. You asked me in 2012, I might have had a different answer here. Now, no, it's different. There's different animals at receiver. We're seeing the freakiest of the freaky in our country playing that position. Like you said, it changes the game and dictates a lot of things. The way the rules are set up right now for the offenses, there's greater importance. And I think at the end of the day, too, the biggest thing is you say 6 or 8 touches, but I want to go, I don't, it really can be more than that, easily more than that this day and age in the NFL with the wide receiver position because of like what we're talking about here specifically with Deebo. You get them the sweeps, the toss sweeps, the reverses, the speed sweeps, all of that, the screens. It's very easy to get these guys 10, 12 touches, let alone, like you're talking about, the attention that they get off of that. And, I know there was this thing always of like, well, a lot of Super Bowl teams, they didn't have great receivers. Well, I'm seeing some teams right now that did have great receivers that went to the Super Bowl. I mean, we're seeing 3 in a row. Cooper Kupp, best receiver in football this year. Bam, Super Bowl winner. Year before that, I don't know, Mike Evans, Antonio Browns, Chris Godwin's receiver, kind of important to that Bucs team. Year before that, Chiefs, Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, receiver, kind of important once again. So that's where I think the league has changed a little bit, and I do think the receiver, to your point, has more of an effect on the overall game than maybe some of the old guard is letting on.
And both of those guys in that game, Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins, had a major impact on the outcome. Hill was the guy that helped them get the chestnuts out of the fire on that long play.
Right,
when it was
on
over,
the third
it was
and
done.
15.
They're
right.
down 10.
Right.
And then Sammy Watkins ran by Richard Sherman.
Exactly.
In a key moment after that
Right.
as the Chiefs stole the game from the San Francisco 49ers, a game the 49ers should have won, and the receivers made the difference. Their quarterback does too, but quarterback can't do it alone. And to that point, if the 49ers really want to get the most out of Trey Lance, they better have Deebo Samuel available, not just when week 1 rolls around. You better have him there to work with Trey Lance. So Trey Lance has some comfort and some confidence as he sees what Deebo Samuel can do in that offense as they practice and as they play together in the preseason. I have a weapon here that's going to tilt things in my favor, gives me a little more confidence, especially if Deebo Samuel acquires. They used to call it the red dot player. Do they still call it that? The red dot.
Sure.
That's the receiver that does transcend. Well, he only gets the ball 6 times a game. The red dot guy is the one that you have to have a game plan for him. You have to know where he is all the time. Every single play, you better be ready to go. I think back to Randy Moss. And it was a very simple calculation for the Vikings. Anytime he wasn't double covered, you throw it to him. And sometimes when he was, you still threw it to him.
Yeah,
but anytime you spotted what you thought was single coverage on Randy Moss, you could see the quarterback look out there and make some kind of a signal, and it was just Moss go. If it's one guy, go. Forget about whatever the play call is. We see Moss in single coverage, go. So you got to be ready to have 2 guys on the red dot guy all the time,
right,
which does make it, 9 on 10 for the rest of the offense, which is going to make it a difference, especially if you're trying to break into Trey Lance.
No question, no question. That's what I was saying. The red dot guy, for all those people out there that are going, what the hell is Mike talking about? You got your laser pen, your laser pointer. Coaches, hey, this guy right here, and they point the red dot at him and make circles around him 9 million times. We got to watch this guy. Where's he lining up? What's he doing? So that's what the red dot guy is. And to your point, Deebo Samuel is the red dot guy. And that's where, Mike, I'm glad you're saying it too. It's kind of what I started off to, where this is where Deebo's got power in this situation. So much of the offense and the way it's situated is, around Deebo and this interesting skill set and the fact that he has this power and explosiveness and the ability to go 0 to 60 in 2 steps. And then like you were saying there, and with Trey Lance, why would you want that guy? That's the offense we got Trey Lance for, right? We're going to fake it this way, fake it that way. Oh, wait, Trey Lance ran it. Oh, wait, he gave it to Deebo Samuel, and now Trey Lance faked running this way. Oh, wait, now we did that and threw the ball over the middle, to somebody else. I mean, that's what I would envision the 49ers offense looking like, and that's where Deebo Samuel is really special. I mean, come on. Look at these plays. When you watch a Deebo Samuel highlights reel, I want to just go, who else is doing some of this stuff in football? Oh, yeah. Oh, there goes your ear pads. Get out of here. Great, big job. Oh, give me the ball up the middle against the Bengals. No big deal, coach. They only went to the Super Bowl. I mean, look at his legs and butt. 0 to 60. Oh, Bob, see, around the corner against one of the faster secondaries in football. We see long touchdowns against the Rams, fastest defense in football. He's a superstar, and he's got a right to want more money.
Well, and look, I understand the teams will say we only have so many cap dollars, we got to make it work. That's for them to figure out, because other teams are figuring out how to pay guys who don't do everything that Deebo Samuel does. And this is one of the blessings and curses of having great players. At some point, you got to pay them. The early years of the Deebo Samuel contract are over. The early years of the Nick Bosa contract are over. If you want to hold this team together, you gotta pay these guys, and especially when you're clinging to a $25 million albatross in Jimmy Garoppolo, who just needs to go. I still, and this is something else Peter and I disagree with, and I respect his point. Peter thinks they should squat on him indefinitely. I just don't think you bank on the Teddy Bridgewater fluke injury happening. Like, when are you ever going to get anything for Jimmy G? When is he going to reduce his salary to accommodate a trade? What are you going to do? You're going to pay some of the salary to make it happen? I just think stubbornness gets in the way of the urgency to take care of the rest of your team. And I think it would be a strong statement that we're behind Trey Lance, that we're going to take that money and we're going to take care of our guys. We had Jimmy G for 4.5 years. The time has ended. We don't care that we don't get any value for him in trade. It's in the best interest of the team. They always hide behind that to justify whatever it is they choose to do. It's in the and it really is in the best interest of the team to sever ties now, to admit that you're not going to get anything of significance. It's not worth the hassle. It's not worth chewing up the cap space. Let's just move on. That would be, if I was a 49ers fan, that would be what I would be hoping they would do.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the fact that I think it's highly unlikely what you're talking about for that to happen, and then highly unlikely in the fact of even after coming back, okay, now he's gotten surgery and he's throwing. I don't think there's going to be a team that's going to throw some huge asset package at the 49ers for a guy like Jimmy G. In fact, the more time that goes on, and I think the more people digest and dive into Jimmy G, they're going to look at it and still go, yeah, he's a good player, but how good is he? I don't really know. Shanahan makes life really easy on him. I mean, as easy as could be. So that's where, I don't know where this whole thing goes for them. And I'm with you in the fact that it does make life a little hard for Trey Lance. You would think you'd want to start, that era and just get everybody and everything all behind him. But to your point, it seems like there was this preconceived plan already that went into place with the trade when they traded the 3 first-round picks, that they justified in their brains that, yeah, we'll trade 3 first-round picks to get the number 3 pick, and no, we'll get one of them back because we'll trade Jimmy G, and this will all work out. And it's like, well, that was cool. That was a good thought then, but that's not reality now, at least not from where I stand. And that's where it seems like the 49ers, to what you're saying, are being a little stubborn in that department.
And Deebo Samuel, not the only one. We've talked extensively about DK Metcalf. A.J. Brown of the Titans is due his contract. I looked up Cooper Kupp's salary. He did a short-term extension, and he's at 14. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And this is, again, the curse of having a great team. You got plenty of guys that deserve big money. And even if Cooper Kupp would do a team-friendly deal, he's due a hell of a lot more than what he's currently getting. It'll be interesting to see when they pivot back around to him and take care of him a second time.
Yeah.
Plenty of guys out there. Terry McLaurin in Washington. There's crickets between Washington and McLaurin about what they're going to pay him. And I know that's not the team McCloughan is currently with, but he was there not that long ago. I just wonder whether some of these teams, and some of them will, their attitude will be, we'll find another Terry McLaurin. If we can trade this guy and get major assets for him, let's do it. The Jets are clearly looking. I won't be surprised if one of these big-name receivers gets traded to the Jets, because the Jets already have the wallet open to get Tyreek Hill. And I feel like it's just once you open it, it's easy to open it again. One of these guys we've been talking about is going to end up on the Jets, I think.
Yeah, well, I think you go that, and then the rumors you hear about the Jets and offering the trade for the DK Metcalf. So that makes sense. I'm with you. And when we were talking about Deebo Samuel, I kind of wanted to bring that up. I don't know. Is that going to go that way? Maybe that's where Shanahan and Lynch can get their picks back. You want to trade him to the Jets? You probably can get, first and a second back. I know.
But that, my God, that would be something.
I know.
That would be something. And I wonder if they're going to, and this is a dangerous game to play. Could they wait to see if they get their next Deebo Samuel,
their guy they
this
want
year's draft,
right?
In this draft, and then after the draft, we see who they have. Because, hey, Deebo was a second-round pick, and we're going to do a draft later in the program of the best receivers from the 2019 draft class, because it's a reminder that they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They get that guy that they think can play the Deebo Samuel role with full tread on the tires, low contract for 3 years. We get some of our draft capital back. I hope they don't do it. That's going to be a tough sell. Got a lot of Deebo Samuel fans in the 49ers fan base.
No doubt.
But this is how teams view all players at all times. No one is untouchable. No one is truly untouchable. You've got your roster of players. You've got all the other players out there in the world. And when you get a chance to bring in some of the other players, some of the guys you have, all of a sudden could be removed from that depth chart, sent somewhere else, because we get something else in return for it. It's the chess match that is constantly being played by these teams. And I look at the things Kyle Shanahan has said about Deebo Samuel, and I'd be shocked if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to walk back what you've already said about the guy if you trade him. Yeah. That's going to be a tough sell if they would do it.
But yeah, it will be. And I mean, those are difference makers. I don't think A.J. Brown, because he's a lot like Deebo Samuel, and what Mike Vrabel said, he made the comment like A.J. Brown's going to be in Tennessee. I think they love him, what he brings to the team. So I'd be shocked if they don't work something out there. The Terry McLaurin thing. That'll be interesting to see in what direction that goes there in Washington. I think he's a hell of a football player, too. And, of course, his speed is rare. There's not many guys in the game that can run like Terry McLaurin, and we know Deebo Samuel is an absolute beast. For all those out there, because I do see that too much of, they have a contract or, be patient or wait. Pay patient, like F off with be patient crap. Like, what are you talking about? This career is an average of 3 years. You don't have time to be patient. Get out of here. Why didn't people say when they lowered the salary cap, it didn't go up during the year of COVID? Why didn't all the fans go to the owners, go, just be patient. It's going to explode.
The money will
Keep
come
paying back.
Patient.
It shouldn't change. Keep it going. That's what drives me. I don't understand that. Be patient. Be patient. You're only going to run over the middle and get your head knocked off 75 times this year. The other times, your shoulder will get knocked off. But just be patient. Like, F off all of you with your be patient conversation. Like, come on. You got one time to strike. You're on fire. You got to go off. You got to get it now. And that's what Deebo Samuel's looking at, and you can't fault him for that. If you just look at it realistically through his shoes or just as a human being, you got to give him that respect.
It's one of the themes of playmakers. It's one of the reasons why I get called from time to time a bleeding heart liberal and a communist. God forbid that I advocate.
Doesn't that sound like a capitalism? I thought that sounded like capitalism.
Yes, it is capitalism.
But not
get
that way.
Paid. No, because you know why? You're disrupting my enjoyment of football. You're threatening the balance of my team.
Those people sound communist, in my opinion. That sounds communist.
I don't care how much money Deebo Samuel gets. I just want him on the 49ers. And see, what happens is anytime there's a fight between player and team, the fans rush to defend the team. The player's always wrong. The player's always greedy. The player's always out of line. The player should always be patient. As you said, get the F out of here with that stuff.
Yeah.
The player is the one who is putting the helmet on and the pads on and his health on the line, and he only has so many years he can play, and he doesn't have equity in the team. Oh, the players get half the money now. Yeah, that's great. The owners get half the money and all of the equity, and the players have none. The players' biggest earning potential of their lives is that narrow window that they play the NFL at a sufficiently high level to get paid, because the moment you don't play at a sufficiently high level to get paid, you're not getting paid anymore. You're gone. They will replace you with somebody else in the football machine. They're all viewed as interchangeable pieces of a football machine. The owners of that machine just keep printing money and buying super yachts and a house here and a house there and a house here and a house there. And how many freaking houses can you have? So hopefully they're all on ports where the super yacht can go and they're not landlocked. But hey, they got planes too. They got boats, they got planes, they got trains, they got everything. And we root for them to get more. And we want them to screw over in the negotiations that happen, their players, so there's more money left under the salary cap. It's
crazy.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.